In September 2023, a routine traffic stop by Pennsylvania State Police uncovered something deeply unsettling. Inside a speeding rental car, officers found 65 illegal, completely untraceable firearms. Those ghost guns were funded by melting down a massive cache of 99.9% pure gold bars, stolen from a Canadian airport months earlier in a flawlessly executed heist. On April 17, 2023, a Swiss cargo flight touched down at Toronto Pearson Airport. Deep in its hold sat an incredible payload, 6,600 bars of pure gold weighing 400 kilograms, stacked right next to $2 million in cold hard cash. This $30 million fortune was tucked inside a heavily guarded international system. However, physical barriers offer zero protection when the security threat originates from within the organization itself. Upon landing at 3:56 p.m., the bullion followed standard, highly secure protocol. It was transferred to the Air Canada cargo terminal to wait in restricted storage for an armored Brinks truck pickup. The group behind this operation consisted of mundane warehouse managers and cargo workers, people like Arsalan Sunny Chowdhury and Simranpreet Panaser. Their everyday jobs gave them absolute visibility into the cargo terminal's operations. They knew the exact landing schedules, identified the security blind spots, and understood the precise internal protocols required to move high-value freight. Within the framework of modern logistics, access to internal paperwork and cargo schedules allows for a level of extraction that physical force cannot achieve. At 6:32 p.m., a white 5-ton truck rolled directly up to the terminal gate. The driver perfectly blended in, wearing a standard company uniform, a reflective safety vest, and a medical mask. He bypassed traditional robbery tactics entirely. He simply walked up to a warehouse worker and handed over an airway bill, a standard shipping document, to pick up a 1,200-kilogram delivery of seafood. That document was a flawless forgery from an internal printer. It copied barcodes from a legitimate delivery from the day before. Because the paperwork scanned as verified, the crew didn't hesitate. They loaded the container without triggering alarms or calling supervisors. The truck simply drove off the premises. Just 3.5 hours after the Swiss flight landed, $30 million vanished into the Canadian evening. The airport's sophisticated security apparatus never actually broke down. It was tricked into executing a perfectly routine transaction. 3 hours later, at 9:30 p.m., the real Brinks armored vehicle finally arrived. The guards confidently walked into the facility to collect the gold, only to find an empty storage unit. Panic set in, but corporate paralysis took over. Air Canada executives waited until 2:43 in the morning to officially notify law enforcement. That catastrophic delay handed the criminal crew an 8-hour head start. By the time police were finally dispatched, their response was effectively useless. The perpetrators were already long gone. Investigators launched Project 24K, a desperate scramble to catch a ghost. They scoured footage from over 225 surveillance cameras, tracking the fleeing white truck as it wove down Highway 401 before completely losing the trail in the rural outskirts north of Milton. Ultimately, this massive window of institutional incompetence gave the thieves the time they required to make the gold disappear permanently. The perfect crime eventually unraveled because of a single biological mistake. The truck driver, a 25-year-old named Durante King McLean, had removed his left glove to better handle the fake paperwork, leaving behind one damning fingerprint. That print ultimately connected him to the speeding rental car in Pennsylvania. When police recovered those illegal firearms, they realized the crew hadn't shipped the heavy gold bars overseas as initially assumed. Instead, they ran a local laundering operation. Using homemade crucibles right in Canada, they melted the 400 kilos of gold down into untraceable jewelry. Those newly formed assets were sold off to fund international gun smuggling rings and purchase luxury real estate in the Middle East. It was an act of reverse alchemy. The perpetrator successfully transformed highly tracked physical precious metal into untraceable international chaos and hard assets. With the gold liquidated, the insiders scattered across the globe. Warehouse manager Panasar actually gave police a tour of the crime scene before quietly resigning and vanishing to India, while another worker relocated to a life of luxury in Dubai. International borders now protect the mastermind.
Arsalan Sunny Chowdhury, who made over 800 phone calls the day of the heist, remains legally untouchable because Canada has no extradition treaty with the United Arab Emirates. The corporate fallout has devolved into a bitter legal battle. Brinks and Air Canada are currently locked in a vicious, multi-million-dollar lawsuit, aggressively blaming each other for the catastrophic security failures. The illusion of a high-tech corporate fortress was effortlessly shattered by an internal printer and a fake seafood receipt. It left behind nothing but a tangled web of lawsuits, while $30 million is gone forever.